Sorry about that. I don't know why the stream cut out. I kind of left off on this image of this landscape or seascape, and then I started to work on the next one. And next thing I knew, nobody was in the stream anymore. So I really apologize. Uh, Someone type something in the chat because my chat window doesn't seem to be showing up again. Just weird. We don't need the chat window today so much, but I do need to fix that before the next stream. So I'll wait just a minute for people to get in, but this is the photo editing live stream continuation because the other one, for whatever reason, just stopped working. And I kind of left off with this image here. I'm done with this image, so I'll just show you the uh, the final result. We'll do a before and after here. Um, but I decided to go with a little bit less contrasty image. Why is this? There we go. So here's the before, and let me zoom out so you can see. So I cropped in a little bit onto this image and left with this one, and I think this came out pretty nice. So I tried to maintain the contrast level, but uh, keep that little bit of, like, I didn't want the blacks to be completely black, so it makes the image overall a little bit softer while maintaining that contrast is kind of what I was going for here. Um, so hopefully this looks well. This is how I would finish with this image. So there's a side by side, and I was talking about the blue here. I like the blue in this image. I could have probably done a little bit with that, but ultimately I decided to go with black and white. And I was going to go ahead and start on the next image. Uh, so let's do that. And we have a lot of landscapes today, as I was saying before. I'm repeating myself here because I went on for about 10 minutes and nobody was here. I didn't even realize. But okay, so for the benefit of people that are watching this later, you don't have to sit through waiting everybody to come in. Hopefully, you guys will come in. So on this image, what I was saying was that uh, I wasn't crazy about this right side. There are some interesting aspects going on. Like I like these little accents of yellow daffodils down here and these trees, but ultimately I decided to crop this out. So and I went with a square crop, and what I wanted to do was just get enough of this house and this tree because this is where the action is right in here, and then the water kind of framing the subject. So I'm making this my subject and then using the water down here to kind of frame it. And I don't want to make it so small in the frame, so that's why I'm cropping in even more, meaning I don't want the house and tree to be tiny in the frame. And I ended up with a crop something like this, and then I did a little bit of a horizon correction. Again, I did this like just 10 minutes ago. Okay, so this looks good to me right here, this particular composition. So we have nice framing, the water framing the subject, and then, the background. Now let's do some global adjustments. I'm just going to push the shadows a little bit there, maybe pull the blacks in for some contrast. Like this. I don't think clear view is not bad. We'll just give it a little bit of clear view there. And a little bit of micro contrast. And then we'll start doing some local adjustments. And as always, I like to make the water let it stand out a little more. So I'm going to tighten up the masking. Let's do a chroma mask. So we're getting mostly the blue and less of the rock. Let me see. Something like that. Wow, that's a pretty strong mask. We'll do that. And I want it to be, let me try that. Okay. I'm going to shift it a little bit cooler, just a touch. And then I want to accent these rocks next. So this is going to be a Luma mask. And push these up. Make these rocks a little bit warmer. And I'll do a little bit on these bushes here. Okay. And I think I can do the same mask to the tree. Just want this to be stand out a little more. Maybe these branches. Let's push those. A little bit more in the shadows. A little less on the blacks. Okay. All right. A little more on the front. Tighten that up. Okay. And so how is that? Let me just sit for a second. I need to tighten these up. Just accentuate these a bit more. A little bit in here. And tighten these up a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, and then let's do a little bit on the house because there's a little bit of light down here. And warm that up a tiny bit. A little bit here and a little bit here. Maybe do the same thing. Oh, that's too much. I'm gonna pull these back a little bit. How about that one? No, that needs kind of a separate. Because I do want to increase a little bit in here. but a little bit less than the other ones. Okay. A little bit in here. So I just want more of the light to be shining in, like it's kind of coming in from a certain direction. All right. Maybe one last sort of a graduated cooling on the right side. 'Cause after all, this is the shady side, right? Okay. And I think I'm done. So let's do a before and after. So here's the before scene, which is it's really a beautiful scene. But I wanted to kind of again less is more, minimize it to just the key elements, which is I felt like the subject here was this house and tree with the landscapes of the mountains and this small stream. So we still have all of the elements here on the right side, which I think this image is just as good actually. So there's without any edits, so it's very well exposed. All I had to do is just kind of highlight some of the differences in lighting. I might actually I might actually have to just increase this contrast a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. I think that looks good. So there's the before and after, and I think that came out pretty well compared to the original, uh, the entire scene, just cropping into this area here. All right. Thank you, Peter, for sending that. And we have a bird image, of course. So let's just do a basic preset. And I'm just gonna write the square preset and then straighten the horizon a bit. Uh, see if we can separate this bird. Not really. That's okay. And then we will erase a little bit in here. And just a tad around the edges. Okay, good. Wow, we're gonna have to sharpen this up a bit. It missed focus just a tiny bit. Looks like you're on the back feathers here and not on the eye. Okay. So let's do a little bit on the eye. Oh, I need to fix right in here. Okay. And whoops, wrong one. This one. This one. Okay. Uh, so far so good. And let's center this a little better. Give it a little bit of a vignette. Add some clarity to the water. Okay. And then just a tiny bit more adjustment on the bird itself. So we will do like that, but we need just a little bit more contrast here and there. And right there. All right. The other thing I want to do, I wonder if I can just do it with this. I don't really like to use this that much down here, but sometimes it does balance out the focus. And then just a minor push on the shadows. And a little bit up in here. Just a slight push this way. Okay. Okay, so let's do a quick export of this because this will benefit a little bit from the Deep Prime XD. Okay, good. So I'm going to reset this. So there's the before image, right? And this is very common. The horizon's crooked, and you zoomed in as much as you can. But let me compare it to. So this is the final edited image here on the left. So I just basically made it a lot punchier and straightened the horizon. And now we can see the head. The head stands out a lot more than it did before. And then, of course, just making the water a little crispier. So I think that looks pretty good. So there's the after, and there's the before. Okay, one last one. Another landscape here. This is the same landscape as before, just a little different angle. It's more to the right. But I saw this same landscape, but it was last week. It was much wider, or whenever that was. So what I would do here is, again, I don't see. I think the subject here is supposed to be kind of the rocks, and then this is the backdrop. I'm trying to figure out a composition that would work. Because super wide, I don't think that would work either. Let me get a basic preset in first. Uh, there's lots of good color here, so I think I'll stick with color. Let me see where do we need to be on this? Yikes. Maybe much higher up. Okay, that works. That works a little better. Let's do just come in tighter. Oh, how long has the screen been out? Am I still live? This is um this is rough. I'm sorry, guys. Am I visible now? I don't know why the screen keeps blanking out like that. What I might have to do, gosh, I'm gonna have to re-edit these two streams that I created today into one smaller 10-minute montage or something. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Hopefully, you could at least hear me what I was saying and thinking, because then now when you look at the image, you can get an idea of what I was doing. But I'm pretty much done here. So let me uh let me show you the before and after. So you can see here's the before scene. Again, a wide angle shot. There's just so much negative space. So I always crop in. So you can see I did a much tighter crop here. And this is the image I came up with. So there's the before. Uh, let me do it this way. There's the before, right? And then here's the after. And essentially what I did was, I warmed up the upper part where the light is coming in. I cooled off where the shade is here in the water. And I did a couple of accents here on the people that are surfboarding here and eliminated, the unnecessary rocks. So I think this looks pretty good. And actually that would be the last one. So gosh, I really apologize for the interruptions in the stream. I don't know why that was happening. Gosh, I hope that doesn't happen this Sunday, or I might even have to stream tomorrow because Sunday I'm going on a photo walk in the morning. But hopefully you enjoyed those edits. We'll just walk through them real quick for the benefit. Well, I'm gonna re-edit these streams anyway, but let's walk through the edits today. So here's the first one I did. Oops, let's do comparisons. So there's the before and there's the after. On this one, again, another huge crop. So there's the before and there's the after. And then this one, I went a couple of different ways on this one, but here's the before and here's the after. Uh, nice little bird shot here. We can do this one side by side. Didn't have to do a lot here other than separate the bird a little bit more from the background. And then this one here, nice landscape. Again, a pretty significant crop. Not a significant crop, but going to black and white primarily here and making it softer. And then this one had a pretty significant crop, right? I was just trying to keep the meat of the image. The subject of the image to me was this tree and house here with the water framing it. So I think that worked out pretty well. So there's the before and there's the after. And then this duck was basically, or it's not a duck, but this bird was basically just straightening the horizon and brightening it a little bit. Unfortunately, the focus was missed on the eye. So it's not as good as it could have been, unfortunately, but still a nice shot. And then the one I just did. So there's the before and there's the after. Before and after. So this was significantly cropped. All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Was that okay? Um, I always do my best on these edits. I hope you like them. Um, Sorry again about the technical problems and splitting this up, but I will continue to do these as long as you guys like me doing these. I'm going to try and offer a little bit more critique, or not critique, but my thoughts on the image, really, because critiquing is very subjective. Some of you may have liked the original unedited version better than my edit, right? So I get that. It's okay. It's your image or your vision. Whether it's your image or not, it would be your vision of that scene. It can be very different than what I saw. And so there's no right or wrong in this editing. It's just a matter of uh, what I saw, maybe give you some suggestions on what I would do, and also learn a little bit about Photolab, how to edit using Photolab 7. And and then of course a lot of the things I'm doing here can be applied in different photo editing software. So don't let, Photolab 7 be the reason that these edits came out the way they did. The edits are coming out the way they are because I'm just using very, very standard tools of highlight, shadow, clarity, and cropping mostly, right? Cropping is probably about 80% of the edit, where you try to find the subject or the most interesting parts of the scene, eliminate the parts of the scene that don't contribute to the composition or the story, and keep only those elements that make sense, that are not redundant, that are complementary. And that's what I try to do in my editing. Um, so let me know. Let's see. See, Roberto's here. The side toe, Shri. Hey, Shri, how are you? I think I got a text from you about the stream, so I appreciate that. For those of you that have my text number, just text me right away and let me know if there's a problem. Because I will check it. I got to just remember to keep my phone in the office here, and I think that's it. John is here. Good to see you. And Eric. Oh, hey, Eric. How are you? I missed you coming in, but it's good to see you. We were chatting about something on Facebook. I can't remember now. Um, and intrigue. Always good to see you. I appreciate it. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a very small group of us, right? It's usually like 10 to 20 people here, uh, watching with me and editing, but that's fine. You know, um, I enjoy doing it. It's good practice for me, and also helps me work out, some of the issues I'm having with my streaming on top of that, unfortunately. But I guess we'll call it here. If you guys didn't want to talk about anything in particular, um, John says, enjoyed this a lot. Gave me some great ideas. Good. I'm glad, John. That's what I try to do. I try to, hopefully you'll see something here that maybe you didn't think of, right? That's why it's always interesting to see, because you can give a photo to like five or 10 different people, and they might come out with 5 or 10 different, totally different types of edits. Um, and let's see. Said, did a photo session for senior photo school, ended up over 550 shots. Client loved 30. Ironically, using DSLR and point and shoot cam bridge worked out the best. Yeah, it's all about mobility, right? And being in the moment. Um, so the point and shoots are really good for that, right? Letting you get into the moment and not letting the camera be a distraction. Uh, and the DSLR is just old school. It just has, because it has that loud shutter clunk, so that also draws you into the moment. Sometimes these mirrorless cameras with the totally silent mode and the ultra silent motors and usually the smallness and compactness of them can take you out of the moment, right? And make you wonder if the camera took a picture or not. It, I get it. Uh, that's why I like this new LX100 that I got. I like my Pen F because they're very tactile and put you right into the scene. Now, of course, you have to master the camera so that you're not distracted by using the controls on the camera. But once you've mastered your gear, which should be step one, right? Master your gear, read the manual, watch my videos, whatever. Uh, Master the gear so that it becomes second nature to control the exposure that you want to get. And then you can focus on composition, being in the moment, and enjoying your time with your client if it's an event. I love going and doing event photography. I already got some lined up for Christmas already, so I'm looking forward to that. Always good food and good times at those. um, yeah, I'm not sure, Robert. I'm gonna have to look. I'll probably just stream Sunday, but it's gonna be later, so it might be a little bit late for you, because I know you're in Australia, so you're like way ahead of me. uh, Almost an opposite time zone. So daytime for me is nighttime for you. So I'm not sure. Most likely it'll be Sunday. I'll set it up today so everybody will know when I'm coming back. Um, but okay, you guys, thanks for being here. I will do another photo editing stream next week, usually on Fridays now. Of course, I have my shopping streams on Tuesday, so that way you can order stuff and get it in by the weekend and start using it. and then of course my normal photo chats on Sunday. And one of these days I'll crank out a video about something. I don't know. I kind of got away from making videos this year versus last year. That's all I did, and hardly any streaming. So I've kind of switched buckets here, but I enjoy either way being with you guys in the community, sharing with you everything. So thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Send me some more pictures, and I'll do my best again next week.